Okay. So it's my understanding that I was supposed to do like a high-end makeup tutorial. I low-key forgot, but it's okay because we're doing it right now. Hair is already tied, so we are going to start with exfoliator. And if you're wondering what is considered high-end, me personally, anything that's above like $14, or really anything that's above $16, because the heck you mean you want people to spend more than $16 on a product? Obviously, I have once you see the product I'm going to use, but like you know. So I have to see it. I paused the video for that. Anyway, I'm going to use the Medicube Peeling Acid Toner Pads. So we're going to go on with those. Just like, skin prep or skincare, but, I'm just getting my face ready. So in this case, skin prep, but any skincare products or skincare products that I am going to be using, they can be used either way. Next, the Tatcha Buttermilk, the Tatcha Dewy Milk Moisturizer. I really like this smell compared to other Tatcha products, especially the hydrating mist. That smells so bad to me. Like, oh my gosh. So this one smells like lavender. That smells like lavender. And you can't really see this on camera because the light is like right here, but this has more of a lavenderish tint to it. Everyone's like lilac maybe, but it feels really nice on the skin. This thing right here stinks. It's disgusting. No, it's not the vibe. Okay, like you spray it, and you're breathing in while you spray it, and you just feel the back of your throat, and it's like, anybody who's ever hit a pen, it feels like that. Don't do it. Or like, don't use this product. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying, like, this will have that exact same feeling of while you're doing it with none of the same effects. You just burn. Your throat burns. Like, bro. But I do like using it when I'm in a rush. And I just need to hurry up and use a moisturizer. And I'm doing it really quick. Throw some on my face because I don't want to leave the house barefaced and I still got to moisturize. I like this. I like this a lot. Now then, this right here is a really good poreless primer, or if you have oily skin. But because I just want to keep my skin hydrated and such, this is the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas, by the way. But because I want to like keep the hydration, so to speak, I'm going to use the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And I've seen mixed reviews for this on TikTok and on Sephora. Some people say it leaves them like looking patchy. And then some people are like, oh, this is like almost as good as e.l.f. I'll admit, the e.l.f. primer does beat the Milk one. Anybody who says it doesn't, they just want to be like, oh, expensive is better. No, not all the time. But, I don't know if you guys can hear, but I'm playing Melanie Martinez in the background. I'm such a Melanie fan. Oh my gosh. Why are her Portal perfumes, the little ones like this, that like extract or extrate, whatever, like $86 for something that's small? But it's okay, I'm gonna buy it once I have the money. She's gonna take some much of my money, bro. Oh my gosh. Now then, this next part, I like to call the underpainting stage. We're going to take the NARS concealer pot. I don't know, I think MAC calls them paint pots, but I don't know what NARS calls theirs. It's basically pot concealer, okay? And then the Tarte Creaseless Corrector. And you're going to put this on our dark spots. Now, of course, if you have red spots, then you'll get a green one. If you're like using a foundation, you know, and you see, oh, some spots, like my foundation is leaning kind of orange, you're going to use a purple color corrector. I've never ever seen a blue color corrector in my life, but if there is one, please let me know what it's for. Sorry, I gotta find my concealer brush real quick. Okay, we got this one from e.l.f. And yes, I said high-end, but again, I don't believe in high-end makeup brushes. Well, yes, there can be good high-end makeup brushes, and also bad ones. Like the Kylie Cosmetics brush set that costs $360. I don't have it. I watched Jeffree Star review it. I'm not allowed, he will say he's controversial. Look, man, I trust his reviews. I know he wouldn't lie to me. But yeah, so the Jeffree Star reviews, and he did one on YouTube about 6 years ago, I think. And bro, her brush set was so bad. Bristles was falling. The silver case was a terrible quality of plastic. Like, she's having problems that you should not have when your product costs like what? Almost $400, $360. You should not be having those issues. People should get what they paid for. Now that, of course, I didn't buy it, I'm not going to spend my money on something that I know damn well I'm not really going to cherish. But yeah, if you're wondering what I'm doing with my eyebrows, I'm not trying to really get a shape. It's more like I just want them to be pronounced. I think this is called carving out the brow. I don't really care if they're the same shape, I'll be so for real. It's sort of my thing. But, you know, do your own thing. You know, we don't judge over here. So I do judge a little bit, but not too much. Anyway, so we're going to finish underpainting by going on like this. Now, a full-on underpainting is when you do your blush, your concealer, your contour, all that first, and then go on with foundation. I know Patrick Ta is really well known for that, but that is not how we roll over here. That's not how we do things over here. I just realized I said that without a comma. Sorry. Or with a comma? I don't know. I just meant that's not how we do stuff over here. Okay, now I'm going to take a brush like this. It's angled and dense. And I'm just going to pat this into place. Now then, you can swipe at this time, but I also don't want to create too much of an uneven layer by swiping, leaving streaks, and that may be showing up when I put my powder on. I don't know if that's actually possible. I've never tried, and I don't want to, because what if I do my full face of makeup and then it ends up looking like trash, you know? Just gonna blend this out. I can already tell this is about to be a long video, but it's okay. A lot of people don't watch me anyway. But I am manifesting to be watched. Yes, I am. Alright, now to cancel out some of that redness, I'm going to go through with this Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer, and going to pat into places. I know it might not look like it, but the concealer I'm using on the red spot is my exact shade, or pretty near to my exact shade. Unlike the concealer I use on my eyebrows, which is nowhere near the regular concealer shade I would use unless I'm really trying to pronounce something. gonna do little dots. I know I can already hear the clean girlies, and only wearing tinted moisturizer or clear clear eyebrow gel or clear mascara, being like, oh, that's too much product. Get out of my face, Emma. Okay. Anyway. So I'm gonna go over it like this. I just realized I did not spray it with setting spray, but you know what? I think we'll be okay this time. I really like using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer when I'm in a rush, because like I said, it's so close to my skin tone. I don't even really have to blend it out. I can just go ahead and put that on, powder it, put on some powdered blush, powder contour, do my lip combo in the car, you know? And just like that, ready for our next step. This time, I will be using the Charlotte Tilbury All Day Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray Party All Night, Stay All Day. I am going to shake this up. This big bottle is like $58, which I think is, for Charlotte Tilbury, I kind of see it, and then at the same time, I kind of don't. Okay, so now we've done that, we're going to go on with our foundation, which is Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to be using a lot of her products this video. I have other foundations like Rare Beauty, Anastasia, Lancome, Too Faced. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't know, this has like sort of foundation coverage with the Milk Hydro Skin Tint, okay? It's just, I don't know, I really like this one specifically. She did her thing with this one. So, I will be putting this on a makeup brush, like so, a flat one like this, and just legit painting it on my face. I really love this one because it does not oxidize as much, if at all. I barely notice it, which I really look for in a foundation, because when you test it in the store, your first thoughts are, oh, okay, this is matching my hand. You're not wearing it on your hand in the store the entire time to see if it will oxidize on your hand, and you have to pick a lighter shade. And you don't want to assume that a foundation is going to oxidize, pick a lighter shade, and then it doesn't oxidize, and then you just wasted like $40, $50, maybe even $60, depending on what brand you got. I mean, I've seen a $300 foundation from Laura Mercier. So that's why it's so important when you do find a foundation that doesn't oxidize. Because I mean, yes, they all, or not all of them, but you know, it's common to see that. You can't really fault one for it. But like, you know, when you do really find one, that foundation becomes your holy grail. And it's not just high-end products either. I have found drugstore products that do not oxidize either. I think I put those on in my affordable makeup tutorial for girlies and boys on a budget. But yeah. So with all that being done, we are going to take a beauty blender, this one, and just start blending it in, just so that it all lays nicely. Also, I do not feel any like dryness from the foundation. Now then, this does this, where did I put it? Oh, okay. Full weightless, full coverage, right? So it does not cling to a dewy foundation like a dewy finish, but still feels very hydrating to me on top of the skin prep that I did previously. And like, please excuse my pimples, but like, you know, It's not cracking, which is really good. And from a distance, you can't actually see the bumps on my face. It's concealing that really well until I get in your face. Like really, really up in your face. Like about 2 hands away from your face. You know? Until that's just the camera really picking up on it. So this sort of lighting and stuff is chef's kiss. Now we're going to move on to liquid blush. We are going to be using 3 different ones today. This bright red, or really neutral red, I don't know. I feel like it's more of a bright red by Rare Beauty. And these 2 by Too Faced. Sorry, my allergies are kicking my butt. But, hold up. Okay. Had to sneeze. Anyway. So, you're going to take the light pink one and put that, like, on the apples of your cheeks. Now that I did not create this, I saw somebody doing it and was like, oh, that looks so cool, let me do it too. And then on your chin. The second darkest one. I can open it. Okay. That is going to go right here. And then what's the deepest shade? Going to go right there. This is the sort of blush placement that we want. Then take a dense angled brush and start patting. Don't drag it down to your jaw, like right here. That's like your hard stop point. But you know, from the temple and up, this is going to do a sort of lift, as you can already see. We are going to keep going. Now that I know previously when I was doing the underpainting, you know, some people do that with concealer, and that's fine, but color correcting does do a bit of a better job. It just takes a little bit more work, but it's worth it on the end, or at the end, although that could be different for a lot more people. Maybe color correcting just doesn't work for them. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Okay, next for concealer, we are going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Blur Concealer. Now a new concealer that just dropped is the Ilia Self-Setting Concealer. Personally, I'm not really a fan. I feel like it was overhyped in the ad, but you know, I feel like that's more for the clean girls. It's not really as much coverage as I would like, unlike this one by Charlotte Tilbury. And if you're wondering why I'm doing the concealer next instead of before the liquid blush, is because I want to make the blush look like it's coming from within. So I'm just going to line my eyes. A good place to remember where to put concealer is exactly where you had concealer previously during the underpainting, or where you put color correctors, because that's the spots that you want lighter. I just really want my T-zone right here to be lighter. Now then, some people blend concealer with a brush. I'm personally going to go back in with my beauty blender. I know some people are like, doesn't your beauty blender get moldy? It's not unsafe. Well, I haven't died yet. And I've been doing makeup for 5 years. So, I feel like that's a good sign. And James Charles, Jeffree Star, and Nikki Tutorials is still alive. And those 3 use beauty blenders. So if they're still living and breathing, I think I'll be okay. The moment one of them drops dead, then I'll start to worry until I see the cause of death. And if it doesn't say beauty blender, I'm not stressing out. I just forgot there's also this pointy side version. And then Papa had dropped a beauty blender with like 5 different sides, and it was like $20-something. When I looked on Temu, I saw the exact same one for $2. The cash grab is so crazy right now. Now I am going to put a little bit of a lighter concealer on my eye. And for a lighter concealer option, you can use Anastasia, Too Faced, Urban Decay, Alias, Rare Beauty. Like, you know, you have options. That's what I'm trying to get across. I'm personally just going to use the Anastasia. And legit just 2 dots. A dot is a lot when it comes to trying to lighten your eyes. I was too far from the camera to pause at that time. Okay. Anyway. So I am going to just put that on and blend it in. And just like that, our eyelids are prepped. Now that we are going to go on with contour, we have 2 choices for cream contours. Now this one from Anastasia and this one from Too Faced. I really like this one because it's really buttery and it smells like chocolate. And I know it doesn't really show up on camera as much as the powder contour is about to, but it's because I like to really make at least my liquid or cream contour look like, you know, actual face shadow. Now that I do have it in my statue, but it's in my room. So now we are going to take a sort of brush like this and just start dragging. Don't drag it directly onto the eyelids, but on the eyelid bone, or like the brow bone right here. Over the bridge of my nose. And then to sort of highlight, we are going to use concealer, but we're going to use the Milk Hydro Grip Gel Concealer. I don't even know how they put that in a sentence, but whatever. Okay. I know some people don't like using their hands while they do their makeup, but like, it's my face. If I can't trust my own hands with my skin, bro, we have a whole other problem. Okay. So now that we have done that, where was the brush I just used? It's got to disappear. Back up so you can see. My nose is very much concealed, or it's going to look more concealed after I put on the powder product. Now I don't really believe in high-end powders, but we can go on with this one by Carsland, and it's like $18. This is white and translucent, or the powder was white but it's translucent. I'm going to pat this right here, and then go on my face with it. Then go back on your wrist. And I know I cut it open, but I didn't like the mesh part. I wanted straight up powder, so I could apply it how you see me applying it now, because that's just my style. And then when it gets down here, that's when I just go on my face. I can taste the powder right now and I don't like it, but whatever. You can tell when you powder a spot because when you go over it, it feels very soft, very smooth, not liquidy. That does not mean you can just use any powder. Please do not use baby powder to set your face. You are going to mess up your entire face with makeup, which will be a waste of money. And in this economy, I know anybody wants to waste money. And it needs enough powder there. Okay. Alright. So you need to go on with more powder right there. There we go. Seamless. Okay. Face is not dry except for the nose, and that's on purpose, so don't worry. Oh, wait. Forgot there. Yeesh. Okay. Sorry, if you're wondering why I'm doing like under my chin, it's because I don't want to clean makeup off of any clothes. A second. Okay. But yeah, I don't want to clean makeup off of any clothes. Okay. Now then, for powder contour, we're going to use this one by Charlotte Tilbury. I'm just going to pat that on top of the wet contour. Because it is a makeup powder, it's going to be having the same effect as setting powder, if that makes sense. Now that I'm taking a different brush, like this is not the same brush I used earlier. Getting sticky. See, it shows more on camera after I do the powder. Okay. Go on top, feeling good. Now then, the actual highlights of my nose. I'm going to be using this from the brand Flower Nose. It's so cute. Let me find the proper brush. Okay, I'm going to go into the shade right here. Now I did use this in my former video of Asian products. That's what I'm putting this in this one as well, because this one is like, what, almost $30. I know this is giving 2018 highlighter. 2016 highlighter. This one was my life, okay? Anyway, On the other topic of highlighter, we're going to take this one by Euphoria Half Magic. Press this down and then slide it. Let's go in with the shade Lexi, which is the white glittery shade. Going to put that in my inner corner. Very cutesy, very numerical. Now I'm not going to put that on my nose. What I am going to put on my nose is the Fancy highlighter. This Diamond Bomb. I heard Rihanna's facing some backlash because her new cream bronzer in this sort of compact, not, diamond like this, but, flip to open, does not really have a good shade experience, and that Tarte, which has faced some canceling because of some of their color choices, has a wider shade range than them, and I'm shocked to hear that about Ariana. Or Rihanna, my bad. I got a friend named Ariana. She has been in my mouth all day. Her name has been in my mouth all day. Okay? But anyway, now then, for sort of under eye brightening powder, we're gonna go with Charlotte Tilbury again. I'm going to take this, and then insert a brush if I can find it. 1 second. Okay. We are going to take this, go into it like that, and just slightly brush that under our eyes. And then because this is a tinted powder, it's going to have a little bit of coverage, which we could certainly use. Also going to use that little bit of coverage to sort of shape our nose contour a little bit. Okay. Now then, we're going to go on with blush. In which case, we are going to use this one by Too Faced, which is a light pink, as a top off. And then this other one by Too Faced. I have two by NARS somewhere in here. I don't know where they are. But yeah. Take a fluffy brush like this. Go on with the darker ones first. Sort of just pat that. You're gonna pout, like, and then apply it to the apples of your cheeks and so on and so forth. Alright, now then. Pretty lighter one. Playing Michael Jackson right now, and it's so hard to stay still. Okay. Now then, we are going to do lip liner. Or really, let's go with lipstick first. Now then, I'm not gonna lie, I usually use like drugstore lipstick, but for high end, we can go on with this lip tint by Tatcha. So it's got like blackness from when I would do Headspace at a pause video. Anyway, there's like blackness on it from when I would use it after my lip liner. But you know what? Nah, I want this to look good. So we are going to go on with this one from CoverGirl. This Blur Balm. Such a pretty red. Okay. Now then, so there's other options. We do have two. There is this one by Kosas. I don't know where the top part went. And then this one by Anastasia. I am going to use the darker color. Okay. Now then, for lip gloss, we have two options. One is Rare Beauty, the other is Charlotte Tilbury. Then there's another different one that's Charlotte Tilbury, and another different one is Rare Beauty. So let me get them all together. If I can find the other one by Rare Beauty, oh my gosh. Okay, so it just decided to disappear. I think that, oh, here it is, okay. These two by Rare Beauty, these two by Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to use this one by Charlotte Tilbury. It's a dark burgundy purple. Like that. Okay. Now then for eyebrows, of course I'm going to use Anastasia. She has the best eyebrow products. Still waiting on James Charles to come out with the eyebrow products. I don't know if he has yet, but you know, we'll see. Anyway. So I'm just going to try these on. Like that. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I do have Army Dreamers playing right now. Okay. Now then, for eyeshadow, I don't really feel like doing eyeshadow right now. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. So here's my NARS. Huh? You know what? We're just going to use a blush as an eyeshadow. Yeah. We'll just do that. Or actually, no. Let's use an eyeshadow palette. 1 second. We're going to use this one by Flower Nose. And I'm going to take a brush. Let's use this brush right here. And I'm going to go on with this dark brown right here. Just so it can like create a very soft eyeliner. Like you see it, it's like a shadow. Okay. Then we are going to go on with this light pink right here. It's really light, you can't really see it in the camera. It's more like a dusty rose color. I'm going to put that up there. Just to strengthen that. And the other eye, do literally the exact same thing. I feel like my YouTube playlist so he either calling me a hoe with all of the birth control ads, or it's calling me fat with all the weight loss ads. But you know what? Whatever. This is how it's looking. This is how it looks in a distance. Now then, we do have two setting spray. Or wait, we didn't even do mascara yet. For mascara, I'm going to use this Lash Idol by Lancome. I also have the Lancome powder foundation size. I prefer the one size, but okay. And then the same thing to this eye. Okay. Now we go on with the setting spray. We have this one, which I'll cover it quick. And then we have this one by Milk. I will be using Charlotte Tilbury. I've been choosing her this entire video, okay? So I just dragged myself, okay? This is the final look. Sorry about the black dots. I clenched my eyes a little too tight after doing my mascara. But this is it. I hope you guys have a fabulous day or night or evening or afternoon whenever you're watching this. And bye!